Reddit is now worth over $10 billion, as mutual fund giant Fidelity just invested a lot of money in Reddit. And this is yet another example of mutual funds driving up the valuations of private companies. Now, Reddit has close to 500 million users. And how do you know how much to value an internet company at that has no earnings? Okay, I'm going to teach you some secrets that venture capitalists and public equity investors look at. Okay, a really basic one. So one metric that investors look at for internet companies is the number of subscribers or users. And so Reddit has close to 500 million users. And so if we take a $10 billion valuation for Reddit and we divide that by 500 million users, then that means $20 per user. And so we have to think about what is the lifetime value of a single user. Now, I think that the lifetime value of a single user on a website like Reddit that gives you the most unbiased and the most helpful responses to all of your questions is worth a heck of a lot more than $20 per user. Now, I know what you're thinking. You might be thinking, come on, Chris, that's ridiculous. $20? Chris, Reddit users don't pay Reddit any money. Well, neither do Facebook users, and I trust Reddit a lot more than Facebook. So let's look at some numbers. Let's talk about Facebook as well. And the way you value companies is always based on comparisons. Now, Facebook has close to 2.7 billion users using their products, okay? And they have lots of products too. And so the value of Facebook is about $1 trillion, the market cap. So if we take 1 trillion divided by 2.7 billion users, that equals $370 per user. It's unbelievable. And Facebook, it's crazy, but more than 40% of people on this planet use one Facebook app every 4 or 5 weeks. It's amazing. So again, 2.7 billion Facebook users, okay, $1 trillion market cap, $1 trillion divided by 2.7 billion is $370 per user. Remember that number. And yes, we know that Facebook has actually figured out how to make money off of advertising and also biased, unethical sponsored source. So is Facebook worth $370 per user? And does that really make sense that it's worth close to 20 times more per user than Reddit, which is at $20 per user from a valuation perspective? Is Facebook worth that much more? I don't think so. Now, to be intellectually honest and objective, Facebook's user engagement is amazing because the company's monthly active users and daily active users is really impressive. But I do think that in the long run, I think Facebook is not close to 20 times more valuable than Reddit. And I think that the antitrust department in the United States, the Department of Justice, is going to break them up, right? And the advice that I receive from Reddit is worth a hell of a lot more than the advice that I get from Facebook. And the world has actually become so polarized with Facebook, you know, and what's happening is Facebook is making people of different opinions even more extreme in their opinions, which is really dangerous. So for example, if you're a Democrat or a Republican in America, what Facebook does is they target you with advertisements, and they make you much more so of a Republican or more so of a Democrat based on their sponsored stories. And Reddit is actually much more objective, and people trust Reddit because real opinions are being shared and upvoted, and Reddit does not use an algorithm like the Facebook robot uses to magnify our opinions. And so the most important websites, I humbly believe, of the future are the ones that are actually going to help us enhance our lives by giving us advice. And I don't search Facebook for advice. I search Reddit for advice all the time. So in the long run, I think the valuation of Reddit per user will rise and the valuation of Facebook per user won't. And this makes the $10 billion valuation of Reddit very, very small versus Facebook's staggering $1 trillion valuation. Okay, and that's $1 trillion is 100 times bigger than Reddit's valuation of $10 billion. And so I humbly say that Facebook certainly doesn't add 100 times more value to me in my life. And so the next step from a financial analysis perspective would be to create a financial model to back up this thesis, which I do in a lot of detail in my MBA degree program, which you can check out at haroonventures.com. Thank you.